Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Queen of the Board, and today I'm back with Marvel Champions, but this time playing as the Scarlet Witch, and I'm gonna have another attempt at defeating the Enchantress, so come and join me. Welcome back everyone, and just a quick reminder, I got my first YouTube member a couple of weeks ago, and so if you're interested to do that, the first 20 people who join, if you let me know in the comments, I will actually make a video of your choice. If I can get access to the game, I'll at least give it a good try. So very excited to be seeing the channel grow, and a huge thank you for that. Let's have a look at who we're up against, the Enchantress. Our main scheme is going to be prime real estate. The Enchantress is attempting to conquer South America. That means I have the Enchantress and standard encounter sets as well as Trickster magic in here with my obligation all set. Prime real estate has us set the future of despair off to one side and add a hypnotic gaze. There are several of these provided in the game. Each one has a separate back, so I'm not sure what I'm up against, but it does get attached to my hero and I gain Defiant. You'll see how that works later. Taking a look at the front of the card, you can see for the first stage, it's one of two, it's a max of 6 there. This card starts with 1 threat on it. I did forget that last time. Next, let's take a look at the Enchantress. Because I'm playing standard mode, we start with level 1. Here she is. Now she has a scheme of 2 and an attack of 1, but I do need to remember this forced response. After she attacks me, she'll be placing a charm on this enchantment that I have over here. Once there are 5 or more, this will flip over and activate. And a quick look at our hero. We begin as Wanda. She has a hand size of 6 and hit points of 10, 3 recovery, but she has this superpowered siblings action, which is really interesting, allowing her to discard 2 cards from her hand and draw 2 cards back up. So that will help me find the cards that I need in my deck, I hope. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to draw up to my hand size and we can get started. We find Molecular Decay, the Power of Justice, Turn the Tide, a Magic Shield, Strength, and a Hex Bolt. Okay, so let's see. Now I love having a strength card early on, so I definitely want to keep that. Upgrades I like. I don't need the Power of Justice, so I think we can lose that one. Gosh, this is really tricky actually, because I love Molecular Decay, that's really powerful, but it costs me 3. So if I kept that, I'd have to keep my, let's say, Strength and one of these. Okay, so for the first time, I think I'm actually gonna keep everything. I think I can make this work. But I'm gonna go ahead and just flip up straight away so we get to see our Scarlet Witch. She has a 2/1/2 and her hand size goes down to 5, but she has Chaos Control and Interrupt. This will help me manage the boost icons on encounter cards, hopefully. So we'll see if that works or not. I can only do it once per phase, but that's really interesting. She's an Avenger, she's a Mystic, she's super cool. I'm excited. Okay, so let's start with a giant attack. Yeah, let's get this Enchantress. So this costs me 3, so I'll spend Strength and I think this one. So these 2 are discarded. Attack, deal 5 damage to an enemy and discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Yes, please. She goes from 16. Oh, it should have been, sorry. She starts with 15, so we're going right the way down to 10. Gosh, that's a great start. Discarding the top 2 cards. For each boost icon discarded this way, deal 1 additional damage to that enemy. So we got 2, 3, 3 more, she's down to 7 already. Amazing. So next I'm going to go in for my upgrade. I love a good upgrade. Paying for it with my Hex Bolt. I think this is the right move, not sure. But that will allow me to protect myself for up to 3 damage if I'm willing to discard this card. So I've put a little shield out in front of me. And finally, I'm going to play Turn the Tide any minute now because it's a response to my thwarting. So let's exhaust the Scarlet Witch and thwart to remove this, taking us down to 0 on our main scheme. And so after your hero thwarts and removes all threat from a scheme, which we just did, deal 3 damage to an enemy. So we get to go 6, 5, 4 health already. Amazing. This is much better than last time. Well, I'm all out of things, so I guess that's the end for me. My hand size is 5. We find another Turn the Tide, multitasking, a magic shield, swift retribution, and molecular decay. And it's over to the Enchantress. Because I'm in my hero form, she is attacking me for 1 plus the boost. I'm not defending. Ooh, reveal this card. Well, I don't like that too much. So if it's revealed, then it's going to be attached to my identity. Let's take a closer look. Alluring Call. I don't like this too much because she's going to start messing with me. Oh, let's have a look. So that gets attached. It says forced action, exhaust this card. Exhausted. Place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. Now, not to forget, we're also going to place 1 on because I just got attacked. So I'm placing 2. This is really interesting. She messes with us, but there are like pros and cons to it. So it says, play a card from your hand, reducing its resource cost by 1. So I can play a card. Does that mean that I can actually attack? I feel like it must, right? Please let me know in the comments if I'm playing this wrong. Because I'm going to play Swift Retribution Event. Reducing its cost by 1 means it's a 0 cost. So it's an attack where the villain schemes, which means 2 plus 1. Okay, so she's going to add 3 to prime real estate. But then I get to deal 4 damage to the villain, and the Enchantress only has 4 left. So in fact, she'll go down to 0 and we'll already jump to the Enchantress level 2. Gosh, this is crazy. Okay. And here she is. So she's jumped from a 1 to a 2 attack, and when revealed in standard mode, put the set aside Future of Despair into play. And here that is. And it also says we need to add an additional 3 threat to it. There you go. Okay, so that was all of my attacks. I still need to take my encounter card, but boy, we're moving quite quickly. Here we go. It is an enthralled brute. Now, the brute is coming in with the guard keyword, so I will have to deal with him before I can deal with the Enchantress. But on top of that, Future of Despair adds Stalwart and means the Enchantress cannot take damage. One extra thing here, when revealed, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in play. So this will go to 3. And I need to be careful because if I become enthralled, then this minion will get an extra 3 hit points. So I need to deal with him before this gets to 5, I think. Okay, lots and lots to do. And one last thing is I need to add 2 more because of this little 2 text box. Her new hit points are 16. And I think that pretty much covers it all, but please let me know if I missed something because we have a lot going on here. So I've got some difficult choices. I'm not sure which way to go. I could use my molecular decay to clear out this brute, which might not be a terrible idea, just in case he becomes harder to kill later. But I could also use him to put out a second magic shield as it's not a unique card for extra protection. Or I can go for threat removal. Now, unfortunately, I don't have this resource with the little bobbly bits. I'm not sure, is that science? But I can still use it to remove 2 threat from a scheme, then remove threat from a scheme, and then be able to use turn the tide. I think maybe I should do this. Yeah, so I'm going to spend my magic shield to play multitasking. It's a hero action. I'm in hero form to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And, oh, it won't work. Yes, it will. So I can change this into a 1. And then I'll exhaust Scarlet Witch to thwart, which clears this one out, which keeps us a little safer. Then I can play Turn the Tide, which is a response attack, dealing 3 damage to an enemy. Now, I can't attack the Enchantress at the moment, but we can play 3 on the enthralled brute, so he's almost dead. He doesn't have anything that would come and get me for doing that, I don't think. Ooh, and I think I kind of want to keep my molecular decay card. Now, let's think, do I want to flip down? Yes, I think so. So we go back to Wonder. I'm still exhausted. And I can't perform the superpowered siblings because I've only got 1 card in my hand. But we'll stop there, keep molecular decay, ready everything up. Now I can draw up to 6. So 5 more cards. I find Spiritual Meditation, Crisis Averted, Swift Retribution, a Hex Bolt, and Multitasking. I am playing the Precon deck just because it's the first time I've played her, so I didn't want to mess around with it too much just yet. Okay then, so because I'm in my alter ego form, the Enchantress will scheme. She schemes for 2 and we get a boost of 1 there, so we're going to get scheming for 3. And the brute also will scheme for 1. So we're at 4 of the 6. Next is my encounter card. Magical Restraints. So when revealed, if your identity has the Defiant, which it does because of this hypnotic gaze, but I'm not enthralled, so I choose. I'm either stunned or confused, and I add a charm counter to my enchantment card. That gets us to 4 of the 5. Stunned or confused. Well, I'm definitely going to be wanting to do some thwarting. So I think I'm stunned. Okay, that's actually not too bad. And it's back over to me. So let's start off with Spiritual Meditation. It has a cost of 0. It's going to allow me to draw 2 cards. I can play it because I have my Mystic trait as Wonder. Choose 1 and discard 1. So let's draw 2. I find Molecular Decay and Turn the Tide. Which one should I get rid of? Oof. I've got 2 Molecular Decay, which is kind of crazy. And I think I'm going to get rid of this Crisis Averted. So I think the first thing I'll do is flip up, play Multitasking, and pay for it with Swift Retribution, which is the correct symbol, which means I can remove 2 threat from a scheme. We'll take this one. And if you pay for this card with that symbol, remove 2 more threat from a different scheme. So this becomes a 1. I think the best thing to do actually now is to use my 2 Molecular Decay, which I hate because I love these cards. I'm going to do that to play my Hex Bolt. So discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and then count the number of boost icons. So we go 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's lots and lots to, I think 5 boost icons there. So I get to place a status card on a character. Let's stun our Enchantress. Unfortunately, I can't quite get rid of that brute and I can't quite use my Turn the Tide. So I'm going to attack just to do this and get rid of this stun. Now, I did actually pause to check the video because I realized I'm still at maximum health and that didn't feel right. So in fact, when I was first attacked first round by the Enchantress and my boost card was Alluring Call, I forgot to take the 1 damage because at the time it was 1 plus the boost. So I'm actually at 9. So fixing that now. This is not a rules teach, by the way. Hopefully you've got your Klingon captions turned on, or also please check the comments. Let me know in the comments when I make mistakes, because honestly, playing solo and recording is tough. So I often make mistakes. Happens to all of us. I'm going to ready up and draw. So I have a hand size of 5, getting 4 new cards. Chaos Magic, that sounds exciting. The Wiccan. Speed, and a Hex Bolt. So it's over to the Enchantress. We start by adding 1 more threat. She would attack as I'm in hero form, but instead we lose the stunned card, and that doesn't go off. However, the Brute will still attack me for 2, and I think I'll just take it. So going down to 7. Here's our encounter. Ooh, we find Titania, a minion. Now that's a little tricky because she has a whole 8 health to defeat 1 scheme at 3 attack. She's steady. Steady's tricky because that means that she can hold 2 stunned or confused cards before they actually start to work. She also has overkill. Overkill basically means that excess damage won't get wasted, so she can pick people off pretty fast and bounce that damage around. However, she's been enthralled, and so if I can break that, if I can defeat her, she'll join my team and be mad at the Enchantress. So, I think that sounds worthwhile. Maybe that's the plan. It's my turn, let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to spend Chaos Magic, which is free, it's an event. And it means in my hero form, I can play a card from my hand ignoring its resource cost. So I can either put out Speed or Wiccan. And I think Speed at the price of 4, why not? Yeah, let's go for Speed. So I'm putting Speed out, costs me nothing, but I have to discard 4 from the encounter deck. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Okay, so we now have an ally out, which is pretty cool. And then I think the first thing we'll do is Thwart with Speed, exhausting him. That has damage here of 1. Thwarts for 2, so we're going to thwart the Future of Despair down to 1. Now, after Speed thwarts, ready him once per round, so he's ready again. Now I'm going to have him attack, still doing 1 more damage, exhausting him, and he's going to attack the Brute, which takes out the Brute. So next I'm going to have the Scarlet Witch thwart. So we'll thwart Future of Despair, which takes this one out. That's good. And then I'll play Turn the Tide, which is after your hero thwarts, I get to attack, dealing 3 damage to an enemy. So we'll put 3 damage on Titania. Now, I think my Hypnotic Gaze is going to trigger anyway because I'm not planning on cycling down. So I'm going to be a little wild and use Alluring Call. I think this is how it works. So it says, exhaust this card, exhausting, placing a charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. So we'll do that, which takes it to 5, and that will trigger in a moment. But then play a card from your hand, reducing its cost by 1. So I'm going to put out Wiccan and spend Hex Bolt, but this will only cost me 1 to do it. And Wiccan is now ready. I have a Trance of Envy. You just flip the card over, it's on the back. It's permanent. I am now enthralled. And enthralling means that I will be placing 1 threat here instead of placing those charms out. However, this is interesting because if I exhaust this card, I give the Enchantress an extra face down boost card, but I get to ready my identity. That's huge. Pros and cons with this one. Now I'm going to trigger Wiccan, I think, and after Wiccan thwarts, Discard the top card of the encounter deck. For each boost icon discarded, deal a damage to an enemy. So let's do that. Let's thwart the main scheme to take one off. And he'll take a damage. Then we check. Oh, it's 3. That's actually her crown. So it's 3 boost icons doing 3 more damage to Titania. And I'm going to stop there. I could choose to use this to ready her again and go again, but I'm not going to. I don't think there's much she can do right now. Oh, I could flip down though. Yes, let's flip down and just get that 1 extra card. Flipping down. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to give her an extra boost card to ready my identity and then exhaust, wonder, and recover back up to 10. So we will use it because I've got decent everything else. I think it's probably worth it. Okay, so now I get to pull 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Heroic Intuition, Quicksilver. Ooh, my energy card. Multitasking. The Power of Justice. Gosh, lots of resources this time. And a Hex Bolt. It's not actually that great when all the resources come out at the same time. Readying everybody. Right then, so because I'm in Alter Ego, she's going to scheme and she gets an extra boost card. So she's scheming for 2. Oh, not to forget that you always add 1 more on here anyway. This actually could be quite dangerous. So I think I'm probably in trouble no matter what because there's 3 on there already. 2. Ooh, so 3 plus the boost. Choose to either place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card or confuse your identity. Well, if I place a charm, that goes straight now because of this, an extra threat. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that absolutely is going to push us over the edge for the scheme. So we go to 2A. The Sovereign Sorceress. So when revealed, I have to find the crown of the Enchantress and put it into play. And here it is. It is put into play. It's being attached to the Enchantress. So I'm going to pop her over here. And now when she schemes, a charm counter would be added, which actually will just add an extra threat now. So something else to remember here. I can get rid of it if I exhaust my identity and take a damage. Might not be a bad thing. Max is 9 threats, and if I get to that, we lose. Now that scheme starts with 2, and Titania still gets her chance to scheme, I believe, as well. So that means we're going to have a 3 on it already. It's a bit tricky. Next is my encounter card. Ooh, I have been seduced. It attaches to my identity and I can't make basic attacks or attack events. But if I spend these 2 resource types, lightning bolt and bubbly thing, science, then I get to discard the card. So we'll move everything up and it's going to go right here. Miserable. So I think I'm going to be sensible and get rid of this early on before it becomes a bigger problem. So I'm going to spend Hex Bolt and Heroic Intuition to get rid, those are the right symbols, to get rid of Seduced. Done. And then I think I'm just going to put Quicksilver out actually, because that's 2, 3, 4. It's another ally coming into play. Kind of expensive, but he is ready. So everyone is nice and ready. I'm going to flip up to I should have flipped already, to my Scarlet Witch here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is attack Titania with Quicksilver so we can get her on our team. So that exhausts him. It's going to cost me 1 damage. But as an action, I get to ready Quicksilver, so we're definitely going to do that, bringing him back. And that's the 2 damage I needed to take it from 6 to 8. So Titania is now defeated and set aside, so her ally will come into play. the first time I've had a look at her. So she has a nice healthy health there of 5. So she has a thwart of 2, 3 attack, and she's got overkill and piercing, which is really cool. So I think I can only sort of dink a few. I haven't done much damage to the Enchantress yet. Actually, none at all at her level 2 because I couldn't get to her. So maybe I should just use all my allies, just chip away a little bit. So with Quicksilver, I'm going to exhaust to do an attack of 2, taking 1 more damage there. Oh, yeah. On the Enchantress, so she comes down to 14. Next, we will thwart with speed, so thwarting this from a 3 to a 1. And after he thwarts, he does get readied, but if I use him again, he's going to be dead. Not sure on that one. With Wiccan, I could potentially do more damage. So yes, I think we'll thwart with Wiccan. So exhausting to thwart, that goes to a second one. Taking this one off. And then let's have a look at the boost icon. Okay, so that's 2, so that's not terrible. Bringing her down to 12, okay. It's worth noting there's a limit on allies of 3, but she doesn't count in my ally limit. That's why she's allowed. So I am going to exhaust her and have her attack the Enchantress because she is kind of mad at the Enchantress for earlier. So that will be 2 consequential damage, but she gets to do 3, so that brings this down to 9. And I think I may as well attack with the Scarlet Witch just for that 1 exhausting hit, getting us down to 8. Is it worth it with speed? Sure, why not? It could make the difference. So I think with speed, we're going to allow him to do his final attack, bringing her down to 7. But that will get us to the 4th damage. So we lose this ally. I know I could have saved him as a bit of a shield, but I don't know, it always feels kind of mean. And I think that's about it. We're not going to be exhausting these. Let's ready everyone up. Drawing 5 cards, I find Agatha Harkness, Swift Retribution, a Genius, Heroic Intuition, and Warp Reality. So what I really wanted was some big damage cards, but not too many there. A little bit here. We may be able to do it this round, not sure. Not my turn yet though. It's over to the Enchantress. Let's see what she's going to do because I'm in hero form. She's definitely attacking. She gets 1 boost card. Her attack is 2. I do need to remember to add that 1 threat to the scheme. Oh, do I defend? I think so. I'm going to defend, and I'm actually just going to use my magic shield to defend this. That will prevent 3 damage. I believe I'm a friendly character as I'm the hero. So let's find out what it was. So it was 2 plus 2, so 4. That means I'm still taking 1 damage. I think I can manage that. Lose my shield though. Because that would place a charm counter, I'm going to get 1 more threat. Plenty of threat coming out. Nobody else here to trigger, so we go straight to the encounter card. So I got Spell Blast. So here it is. This is nasty. Now I am enthralled, so I have to do both. The Enchantress schemes, and so she's scheming for 2 plus a boost. No boost though, that's the advance. That actually doesn't make any difference. So we get 2 more on here. And she attacks me. Horrible, at least I'm not in expert mode. She attacks me for 2. I have a boost. Surely I can defend. And I think I'm just gonna take the damage, honestly. I think I can manage it. So 2 attack plus a boost, 3. Okay, so 3 damage. I'm also down to, well, I'm down to 6. Okay, this is tight. She's on 7, I'm on 6. We got through the Spell Blast. Over to me. Can I do it this round? 7 damage total I need to do. And I think I can do it. We're going to play Swift Retribution first, which is a hero action attack. The villain gets to scheme, but I deal 4 damage to the villain. I know this is a little risky, but let's do it. So she's scheming. 2, 3. So 3 more. So that makes it 7 out of 9 here, but I'm doing 4 damage. That brings her down to 3. Easy peasy here, I think. I'm going to be able to do 3 damage here with Titania. And that in itself, ladies and gentlemen, is enough. I could have overkilled with 1 from here, another 2 here. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have done another 6 damage over the top and win. So I finally beat the Enchantress, I think, if I played that correctly. I still had 6 health. So overall, even if I did make a few mistakes, I think that was an amazing game. I really liked Scarlet Witch. Really interesting pre-con deck that I liked a bunch. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Please like, subscribe, all the things. Bye.